Welcome, everybody, to Greg Talks to People, the only show where my social battery doesn't get completely drained right after it's done. On today's show, we have co host of Between Two Beards, Luck of the Draw champion, and my fellow Notre Dame fan. It's Pluggo. What up, sir?
What's up? I'm just happy that I didn't have to bring a towel and some maple syrup and all sorts of shenanigans to hang out with you again. But yes, I am a former Luck of the Draw champion. I had a pretty solid run. I only had to dump water on my head. It's nice.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty solid go. Very
Yeah.
few people. I've been doing that game for, 17 years, and it's hard to believe that you can count on one hand the amount of people who have not had to dump anything on themselves.
Yeah, I got close. I got close. It was near the end, but hey, I'm happy it was just water. Mrs. Pluggo was very confused when I came home with the assortment of items I needed for that podcast, but this is what we do. It's how we roll. So
Exactly. So, I ask this question pretty frequently on the show. How did you get into wrestling in the first place?
how did I get into wrestling? I think I'm sure like a lot of the answers you had, I was a kid. It was just I have very fond memories of the Monday Night Wars era. I remember I had a brother and a sister, and we always fought for the TV, but me and my brother definitely watched wrestling, and WCW came on an hour earlier. So we remember running to the TV at 8 o'clock, and then when they started to find out about the Monday Night Wars, flipping between both of them. We go to events here. There was one in South Bend at the Joy Center, now Purcell Pavilion. Remember that? So like that was just kind of like, I think it's just like kids and then reenacting everything and breaking a bunch of couches and things like that. So I very very fond memories of that. So that's how I got into wrestling as a kid, and then just like it kind of evolved from there.
Perfect. Now, you were just at the Squared Circle. Let me try that again. You were at the Squared Circle Expo.
I
Uh,
was.
so I've been to a couple conventions before. I don't think anything like that, anything of that scale. But from a creator standpoint, what are some of the things that you look forward to when going to those conventions? And is there anything that you're like, oh, I have to deal with this again? Is there anything you dread?
Well, luckily for me, that was the first time I'd ever gone to Squared Circle Expo. So admittedly, I didn't really know what. I mean, I had an idea. I'd walked to WrestleCon, Royal Rumble weekend when they were here in Indy, and I mean, we were just doing that for something to do to kill time because in between the media obligations that we had. So going to Squared Circle Expo, I didn't really have any thing I was dreading or anything. I was kind of just taking it all in. I only knew I was going to be there for one night, so I was like, let me make as much as I can happen within the time that I'm there. I will say that my feet absolutely dreaded the 7 miles I walked, just lapping the room. So comfortable shoes next time, because my feet still are like, hey man, we're not fully recovered from that. But yeah, I was going into it with an open mind. I didn't have a game plan. I didn't have like, oh, I have to do this, have to do that, because you get into those rooms and you get in those situations and anything can happen at any moment. Like you just, you never know who's going to be walking in at that time or who's walking around or what's happening. So I was just trying to take it all in, and hopefully I made some really cool content that people enjoyed.
There you go. And I'll tell you what, those conventions, it's almost, I don't want to say overwhelming, but I mean, it is a little overwhelming because there's so much going on. There's so many people trying to do the same thing as a lot of people that are there, but just crazy.
Yeah, and I was very fortunate to have a cool core group of people that I could lean on to like help me navigate it, like Wells Mania and Stone Pain Productions. Those guys kind of talked to me a little bit about what to expect. The In Your House guys, Tyler Wrestles, Kimmy Sokol, absolute rock star of a person, SRS, Shasta McKenzie, everybody that I interacted with, like they definitely helped me navigate my first time there. And I'm sure I'm forgetting a name or two, and it's not DC Hendricks. I can't forget about my guy DC. Like they all, they helped me out, and it was an awesome experience, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, I'm hoping in the next couple of trips I make to wherever wrestling happens. That there's some conventions around there because I enjoy hitting those up. Those are fun.
Oh yeah.
Now, it's something that a lot of creators have to deal with, and it's an unfortunate side effect of doing what we do. How do you deal with online criticism, and how, like with trolls and what else,
Um,
how does that affect you?
it really doesn't affect me. I'm usually pretty good about being the brunt of the joke or the butt of the joke anyway. Like I'm okay with it. Like I had some negative comments just past week, and it's like, you know what? Like I always look at it like um they're commenting on it, so it's working to my favor anyway because it's engagement, and that's what we're in the business for. And I'm not saying that like it's not, there definitely people should be nicer 100%. I've just so far I've not reached a level where I get a ton of criticism, but I do get some, and I honestly I take it in stride, and I tell the people that are critical, like, okay, like, but you're not putting yourself out there. You're kind of hiding behind this faceless, nameless number on whatever social media platform you're on.
Yeah.
Where's your podcast? Where's your take? Like it, I understand that I'm not for everybody. Like the way that I kind of, my style and my personality is not for everybody. And so I kind of just already have that kind of going in, and I go, you know what? You're going to get some hate. It's just part of the game. Let it just happen. And you know what, not to, because I have great people that tell me how awesome I am, like, and I'm not trying to say that I am. I appreciate that those people think I'm highly of it, but I'd rather worry about what those people think than what the people that aren't vibing with me don't. You know what I mean? Like, all right, so is that the right answer? I don't know. Should I take more stock into the negative comments? I don't know, but right now I just go, you know what? Yeah, I know I'm fat. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of the comments I get. Like, look at this big guy. I know. I like to eat. I can't, is it a crime to want to eat, Greg? Am I a bad guy? So I go,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing that anybody has said to me online that I haven't made a joke about myself. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I usually let it roll off my back for the most part.
Yeah. A quote I'm leaning on a lot this year is don't take criticism from people you wouldn't take advice from.
Absolutely. So. And that's the thing too. Like if somebody I respected in this space or a colleague of mine or somebody, a friend that they had a criticism about something I did, that I might take some stock into, but just some nameless, faceless comment on a Twitter or a TikTok or something. Okay, man. Like, or, hey, like I always say, we all have the opportunity to make content. We all have the same opportunities because it's easier than ever. Put yourself out there, and maybe you'll be better than me one day. That's okay too. Like I'm happy doing what I'm doing.
Absolutely. Now you've had the opportunity to be on screen with wrestlers and other content creators. Do you have any like really great stories to come out of those, like fun things, not necessarily things that happen on camera, but just like great interactions?
Oh, I mean, yeah, I've been very fortunate to have some really awesome interactions with wrestlers and content creators. One of the stories that I don't know if I've told a ton, we've told it on Between Two Beards, is like the first time that we got approval for between, there's two good stories, but the one, like when JPJ I got approval to go to SummerSlam. We had never met. We decided, let's go meet for the first time. Let's do the SummerSlam run. And we're in that room and we do this awesome interview with Baron Corbin. He gave us more time than he should have. And I'm a nervous Nelly, and I'm sifting through the footage and I check it and the audio is gone. There's no audio. And I am like, it was such a good interview. Like, oh no, what do we do? JPJ's kind of freaking out. I'm kind of freaking out. And I go, you know what? I'm just going to go ask him if he'd be willing to re-record. And he goes, your audio went out? He goes, that was because he understood the gimmick, the Between Two Beards. He's touching our face. He goes, yeah, like let's do it. And one of the guys is trying to shoo Baron Corbin to like the next thing. He's like, go,
Mhm.
go. And Baron's like, no, dude, these guys are awesome. Their audio cut out. Like, I want to give them a couple minutes real quick. I said, we'll do it real fast. And he redid the interview, gave us 2 or 3 more minutes than he gave us the first time. Like, it was cool because it was SummerSlam. He didn't have a thing on the card. He wasn't a prominent fixture. He was just there doing media, and he gave us so much time, and that was very cool of him to be able like to do that for us. And just it was just real cool to be in that room and watch that work. And then my other story that I always tell is that infamous Fastlane press conference with Cody and Jay.
Yeah.
The Cody yeet, I still don't get credit for it from Cody, but I'm the guy yelling out, "You got to yeet, Cody. You haven't done it yet." And he shuts the whole press conference down and goes, "Yeet, I am the guy that sparked his first yeet."
Oh boy.
But yeah, those are just fun. Like every wrestler so far that we've had the opportunity to interact with, whether I've got to do it solo or with JPJ or in any situation, or even at this convention I was just at, have all been very gracious with their time, have all been very nice. Like the room is, everybody's helping everybody out. Everybody seems to be, we're all there for our own goals, but we're also there to, we're obviously, we understand why we're there. So I can tell you stories, but I just, like I said, it wouldn't be, there's no hot juicy takes. Like everybody has been very friendly so far and very accommodating and understood the gimmick when we do the between two beards gimmick. They all understand it. They all got it. Johnny Gargano was really great. Tommaso Ciampa, they really understood us, and we had a lot of fun with them. So it just, it's fun, man. I can't say enough about how blessed I am to be able to be in those spaces and get those opportunities. And as long as you're respectful of their time, they'll be respectful with you. And it all worked out, man.
Perfect. Now, this might be kind of in the same vein as the last question, but if you could pick out something from all the content that you've done and pick out just one thing to be like, hey, that's my favorite thing I've ever done, what would it be?
Wow, dude, come on. I'm going to hurt some feelings, right?
Well, that's the thing with picking favorites. I mean,
it's like picking my kids, man.
I know.
Because what, I got to pick, one thing. I don't want to say it's my favorite. It's something that I'm incredibly proud of, is when I did the WrestlePalooza run. It was the first time I'd gone solo to these interview spots. I'd always done them with JPJ in the past. We always did he couldn't make it, so I had to run. And I was nervous as hell because I was even sitting there with some of the other media members that were asking, "Where's JPJ?" Right? Because we're like a team, we're like a duo, we're like a team.
Right.
And he's like, I was like, he just couldn't make it, so I'm doing this, just So I didn't have that person to bounce off of. And so I just kind of had to figure it out on the fly. And I was really proud of what came out of that Indianapolis run. I mean, I got to yeet with the Usos on a video, got to talk to Stephanie Vaquero, Io Sky, and I was able to do it like solo. And I was like, okay, I can do this, right? Like I can do this thing. Like I love doing things with JPJ. Him and I have a great back and forth. We have a great dynamic. It was just kind of that moment where it's like, okay, like, hey, and just some of the interviews I've gotten to do over the years, like I love putting over talent. I'll say the stuff I do with Love Wrestling, some of my favorite stuff, like it's short 5-minute videos, the Love Pro Wrestling show where every month we interview some of the talent heading into the next show, and just getting to see that evolve and that grow and just the growth overall, man. I'm like, it's hard for me to pick one specific thing, but I do so many different things and I have so many different dynamics. Like with Blair on the weekends when we do independent wrestling, that's a whole nother dynamic than what I do on Thursdays with JPJ. Then my solo stuff is a different dynamic. Like I like to do different stuff, and I've just been very fortunate to be able to the point where I got to throw a guy out of a wrestling ring in a Royal Rumble style match. Like, I never thought that I'd be sitting in a locker room preparing for my first wrestling match because of this crazy thing that I call this content that I do. So it's all awesome. but it's very cool to get to do what I get to do.
Absolutely. Now, I'm wearing the shirt.
Yeah, you are. I should have worn mine. I was not prepared.
It's okay. We may go on this topic for a little bit, so
that's fine.
If the people watching aren't,
I asked specifically to have you ask questions.
Oh, and absolutely. Coming from me, I'm absolutely going to ask Notre Dame questions. But, you live in South Bend. You're a big Notre Dame fan. After how last season ended, what are your feelings about this upcoming season? Do you think this year is the one where Marcus Freeman brings home one for the Irish?
Oh, my gosh. See, now that's tough, right? Because we're losing Price, we're losing Jeremiah Loves, we're losing that heart and soul in that backfield. CJ Carr, though, another year under CJ Carr, sophomore year, could be special. Listen, Marcus Freeman is a hell of a coach. He's absolutely fantastic. It's amazing that we've been able to keep him out of the NFL, and we got him for another year. The schedule is certainly in a place where we should go 12-0, but we are Notre Dame, and we do throw away a game here or there. After last season, though, I want nothing more. I want nothing more than to shut up every single hater that hates this program, whether you have valid reasons or you don't. But we are the most hated program in college football, hands down, no debate. They spent the entire playoffs talking about how we should get in, and then when we didn't get in, talking about how we should have got in because we would have performed better than some of the teams that did get in.
Alabama.
Make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? So this upcoming season, I know the schedule is an eyesore, but you can only play who you can play, right? Like if USC is going to back out because they're scared of us, you bums, because they don't want to play us at any time other than when they want to play us. Michigan tucked their tails. I heard that's coming back. I'm a big Notre Dame supporter. I think that we should listen. I don't usually predict 12-0 because I know how hard it is to do that. But if we're not 11-1 and we're not in the playoff hunt, then it's a failure for sure.
Yeah.
But this schedule should, with one more year of CJ Carr, the defense getting figured out, because our defense kind of struggled a little bit early last year. We had some struggles. I mean, yes, we lost to Texas A&M by 1 point, but we gave up 42 points, which we shouldn't have. But we started to tighten the strings at the end there, but the competition was different.
Did Tyler Buckner graduate?
He did.
Oh, he did. Okay.
I can't blame him. Like, I understand why everybody blames him, and I was mad at him too, and I was so distraught that night. But we shouldn't have gave up 41 points to Texas A&M.
Yeah, that's true.
We should have got a couple of stops, and then that game is ours. But man, it's going to be a good year. It's going to be a very telling year for Notre Dame football. Like, again, it's right there. And before anybody complains about if they're inside the top 12, they're automatically in. The College Football Playoff Committee did that. They offered that to us because at the end of the day, it is a television program. It is and Notre Dame draws. And if they're good enough to be there, they want to make sure they're there. I can't believe they left us out the way they did, but I could go on a rant about that.
I mean, I did an entire episode of the Greg Cherry Show about Notre Dame being left out of the
my only listen, were we one of the 12 best teams last year?
Yeah.
You can debate that. You can if you want. But we were in that playoff the entire time. We had never fallen out of it the entire time until that last week of this. And all of a sudden, the committee's like, wait a minute, Miami this. And Miami had a hell of a run. Miami definitely shut up the haters. Don't get me wrong. I thought Miami and Notre Dame should have been in.
I agree.
I
Miami 9, Notre Dame 10. I would have been fine with that.
Yeah. but they decided to leave us out. And then I don't agree with us taking our ball and going home and not playing in the bowl game. I thought
I do.
that's fair. That is fair. I thought you play the bowl game, you get the extra practices for CJ, you get the extra practices for because you know you're losing Love, you know I understand that those guys wouldn't have played. You are not going to go with your full squad, but again, if you're trying to build for the future, play the game, get the reps in, take your lumps. If you lose, you lose. But it's still the idea of getting the extra practices for me. And just the idea of those guys going, and it's not just the football team, right? Like that's the thing that I think we get lost as Notre Dame fans. It's not just the football team's last game. It's that cheerleading squad's last game. It's that broadcasters, those, all of those people that go into the band. It's all those people getting that one chance to get that last. And I think they took that away. And I understand why they're mad. I was mad too. I've ranted about it. I've raved about it. I'll fight anybody. Not physically. I'll argue with you until I'm blue in the face about how they should have been in, but they should have played that bowl game just to give everybody that supports that team their last game. Nobody knew that last game was that last game until, but we're here. We're moving forward. I'm not here to talk about the past, Greg. I'm only here to focus on the future. The future is 2026. The spring game is in like 2 weeks. It's right around my birthday every year. So football's back in the air. I'm very excited for what we're going to do in 2026 into 2027. Hopefully it ends with us winning a national championship. For the first time since 1988.
Yes.
I'm very hopeful. All we got to do is get in. You just got to get into the playoff, and anything could happen. If Indiana could win the national championship, anybody can.
Yep. Hey, we're still the last team to beat Indiana.
This is true. Good for us. That's a great fact. I remember that game. I had an uncle, if he sees this, he's going to be like, I had an extra ticket. I was like, you didn't think to call me? You think to call me? It was freezing. I wouldn't have had a good time. It was so cold. But it's like, you could have called me. I'd have went.
I would have went too.
I was like, I'd have called off work, everything.
Yeah,
but that's when I'm not doing wrestling, when it's fall season, I love college football, man. But I love Notre Dame, and for better or for worse, that's my team. And I love all the haters that think they know. I think we should be in a conference like that matters. Our schedule was comparable to the, and I asked JPJ this. I said, the reason we're not in a conference is tradition. It's a tradition. We've never been. Yes, the money's a factor, but in baseball, if somebody came to the Red Sox because he's a Red Sox fan, I said you got to take down the green.
I'm well aware.
You got to take down the green Mostren because it's unfair to the opposing team because they can't hit it over that. You'd say hell no. You know what I'm saying? You'd be like, no, we're not doing that because it's part of our tradition. And honestly, I am of the belief that more teams should go independent. I don't think Alabama needs the SEC. I think the SEC needs Alabama. I don't think the Big Ten. I don't think Ohio State needs the Big Ten. I think it's, you know what I'm saying? I think we are just conditioned to believe that because you're in a conference, you're a better school. And I look at those Big Tens, and I look at Indiana's schedule. Had Indiana lost one game this year, we would maybe two. If they would have went 10-2, they're not in the playoff. That schedule outside of the Ohio State game and outside of the Oregon game, because they didn't even play Ohio State till the championship game, was a very weak schedule. Had they lost to Oregon, what are we talking about here? The schedules and schools are starting to schedule lighter. It's becoming just get into the playoff. All you need to do. This is the metric you need to hit, and it sucks for college football because we're losing some really awesome games. But I mean, Indiana took Virginia off the schedule before 2026 because they were worried about going to Virginia. Now, Virginia ended up being a good team this year, but the year before they were not.
Yeah. And that's the thing with college football schedules. Like, they are scheduled years in advance. And people think that it's just like, off the cuff, like on a whim decision to be like, hell yeah, we're not going to schedule this team. And it's also funny to me that, we lost USC and we put BYU in their place. So it's like, we're upgrading. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Listen, USC, as much as I can't stand the school, I used to say when I was growing up, like if Notre Dame went 2-10, as long as the 2 wins were Michigan and USC, I think that was a winning season.
Yeah.
They'll figure
2007.
No, right. Oh God. They'll figure it out. USC will figure it out. It's a bummer that we couldn't navigate the schedule, and a lot of it was USC, some of it was us. We obviously needed that game to move. They needed that game, but they were unwilling. They're unwilling to come play us when it's cold.
Yeah.
They want to play us early, and only early. They don't want to play us here because they don't like it. And that was whoever's the coach, and Lincoln Riley. Yeah, it's his. Mm-hmm. He was kind of being, can I say a little bitch about it?
You can say that, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Lincoln Riley, if you see this, you were kind of being a little bitch about it, and you're not even gonna be there, dude, in a couple of years if you keep coaching the way you're coaching.
Here's my thing. If USC hates cold weather so much, why would they join the Big Ten of all conferences?
That's another argument that's another argument piece of this is that, by the way, UCLA's coachings, basketball and football, have complained about the travel, I said, why did you dissolve the Big 12 or the Pac-12 then? Yeah. Because you wanted the money, but with all this money comes all of these other things where now you're, as UCLA and USC, you're traveling to Rutgers for a game, right? So that's all the way across the country when you could have just had this. We had it so good. The Pac-12 was perfect. The Big 12 was perfect. The Big 10, the SEC, ACC, the Big East, it was all perfectly aligned. And guess what? If they would have kept that model with the 12-team playoff, everybody gets a chair. Everybody gets possibly 2, and then you throw that at-large bit in there for the FCS school or not the SCS school, but not the Power 4 schools, the whatever you want to call it, the mid-major. Yeah, the group of 5. There you go. You throw that in there, and it would have all worked out. But everybody wanted to make this money. All these TV contracts, blow everything up geographically. And none of it makes sense anymore. And they're not even doing divisions in half these conferences. None of it makes any sense. It's the Wild West out there. But yet, I still love it. I still get so excited when August comes around and I'm like, college football, just randomly sitting there on a Saturday night watching some random West Coast game at 10:30 at night. I just get so pumped about it. Watching Notre Dame eke out a win or a loss, I get really sad. But it makes no sense, but I'm here for it all.
I'll tell you, like that 10:30 game, like granted, I got to watch Survivor Series this past year because Notre Dame had such a late game. But I was like,
you know why they did that?
Why is that?
Because the ACC was trying to screw Notre Dame. They were trying to.
Of course they were.
They moved every year. The Stanford game is a primetime game every year. Mm-hmm. And then the ACC and Stanford moved it to 8:00 West Coast time because they were trying to throw some wrench into, because they were trying to get Miami. That's the other thing. You're in bed with Notre Dame because Notre Dame helps you draw as a conference. Mm-hmm. But you're actively trying to keep them out, and then all of a sudden going like, we love Notre Dame in our partnership.
Yeah.
And everybody's yelling at Notre Dame like it wasn't like any other conference wouldn't assign that. Mm-hmm. The ACC, and our Schwarbrick said it. He was like, every time we go to any stadium, because that was part of the agreement, is you had to play everybody. You couldn't just pick the best teams in the ACC. You had to go to the Wake Forests of the world and the Georgia Techs of the world and the Stanfords of the world, because guess what? When Notre Dame goes, it sells out. Yep. It draws numbers. So they were both in bed with each other, and then both were pissed at each other at the end there, but I'm sure they'll get over it. Yeah. I'm sure.
Money's
too good.
Yeah. I still don't know until Notre Dame brings home a national title if I'll ever get over the fact that, hey, this team lost 2 games by a combined 4 points, but we're going to throw Alabama in, who got their ass handed to them in the conference championship.
They played in the SEC. See, that was the other thing. This was the perfect storm. This past year was the perfect storm of like, we're either going to set you played in a conference championship game and lost, and we're going to penalize you, or we're going to like, there was so many things that were, it was just like this awful perfect. And the ACC was they didn't have a seat at the table because Virginia won. So like, and the ACC had this really weird playoff tiebreaker system where Miami was left out, even though they had a better record. It was this huge mess of everybody trying to do too much.
Yeah.
And it just, any other year, I don't think that this happens. It was a perfect story. It did open up a lot of fundamental flaws in the 12. I don't think we should go to 16. I think 12 is a good number. I think if we go to 16, we're talking about a lot of crazy teams that don't deserve it, but it is a money grab. I just think, like you said, the perfect storm of Alabama not being good, but they did somehow get in that championship game. Even though Ole Miss was 11-1, and they probably should have played in that game.
Yeah.
So here we are. I got to get over it, though. We got to move on. We got to just, you know what? Last year was last year. 2026. We can't do nothing about it. We got to just go. We just got to get inside that top 12, and we'll be fine. And we'll be in.
I'm very willing to leave 2025 in the past for a number of reasons.
Yes. All right. It was a wild season.
But not just the season, just now, with doing the content creation, do you have an ultimate goal that you'd like to achieve doing it?
Dude, you're hitting me with them. You should have sent me these questions so I could have fudged an answer. No, so I've actually joked about that quite a bit lately. Because when I started this thing, there was no goal. There was just, I need an outlet to put out my thoughts. I love wrestling. I didn't even tell anybody about it when I started this stuff because like I was like, if I'm doing this for 6 months and all of a sudden I go, because I've done that. Like I've been interested in things and started up some stuff, and then it's not what I thought it was going to be. So I never had a goal. I've never had a plan. I've never said I have to be here or I have to be here. The objective has always been do cool shit with my friends. And I think I've done that. But I always joke, like, I wonder if I did have a plan. Would I be bigger? Would I have more followers? Would I be bigger? I don't know. But I also just kind of like, you know, whatever happens, happens. Some weeks I have a lot going on. Some weeks I don't have much going on. I still want to be a dad. Like, no, I say that in a weird way. Like, I always want to be a dad. I'm always going to be a dad. But I still have kids that are doing the soccer, the baseball, track and field. My oldest is going to, he's going into his junior year of track this season, and next year will be his senior year. So I want to be there for that. My younger kids are baseball and soccer. So I don't necessarily have like a game plan. I just try to do what I can and what feels right to me. Because I think success is subjective. I think what you want to make out of it is what you want to make out of it. Like, I thought I had a really successful Squared Circle Expo. Maybe some people did better than I did, but hey, that's cool, right? Like, I thought, hey, I got to do some really fun stuff. I've got to go to the Royal Rumble and cover that event. I've got to go to a SummerSlam and cover that. I got to go to WrestlePalooza and do that run. Like, I've had a really good opportunity. I've got to do interviews and work with amazing people. And pretty much anything that's come up, I'm pretty psyched. So do I have a plan? No. Should I? Maybe. But I think like right now, I think I'm doing pretty good for not having one.
Yeah. I mean,
I would hope, I would think, as long as I keep waking up every day and I'm still invested in it. And don't get me wrong, there's some days that I just don't have it, right? There's days that I'm just like, nope, not today. I'll just do anything else. But I think we all have that in this space. Right. But as long as more often than not, I'm waking up going, what can I do today? What can I do to build off of what we did yesterday? cool. And whatever opportunity comes up, I'll look into it. Some I take, some I respectfully will, decline and say, hey, I probably can't commit to that just because I have, like right now it's spring baseball season for my son's ramping up. I haven't even seen the schedule yet, so I don't know what I can and can't commit to in the next month and a half or 2 months, So yeah, no plan, but just going with the flow, and it's been working. So maybe I just keep that going.
There you go.
I don't even know what a plan is, Greg. What should I be doing?
I was gonna say you're asking the wrong person.
Teach me.
Again, like, do you want advice from a 39-year-old divorcee?
Hey, listen, man, I'm a 39-year-old about to be 40-year-old guy with 4 kids and been told I'm big on the internet. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Maybe I must be doing what I'm doing all right.
Are you big in Japan? Is that the thing?
I hear they pay by the pound over there.
Oh, well, there you go.
I just watched something about marriage. That was a line that he goes, they pay by the pound. It's a sumo culture. Jeez. I might be doing okay over there. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? Going back to something you said, like about success, Wheezy Blonde did, when we recorded this, she did a live earlier today, and that came up in her live. I just thought it was fascinating that, success is one of those things that it is very subjective. It is very personal. Like, success looks different on the inside than it does on the outside to other people. So,
yeah, I think I'm successful. I don't ever know. I don't know if I belong in those rooms. I don't know if what I do is good. I think that's for everybody that watches it to decide, right? That's why we do it. Like, I think it's good enough to put out. I think it's really cool that my oldest son, thinks that when he's seen me do this stuff, like, he thinks it's cool and he likes the Instagram. He called me the other day and he goes, hey, Dad, I know I'm on vacation with Mom, but I thought that was really cool what you did at Squared Circle Expo. And like, he's a 17-year-old kid that should think his dad's lame. Right. Like, my youngest thinks that this is cool. My kids, like, that to me is like the ultimate, like, all right, cool. My wife is very supportive of it. So if they think what I'm doing is cool and I'm still having fun doing it, like, then, I gotta be, I gotta say, hey, it's cool. And I think I've done a lot with the amount of things I have to do that come first. I think I've been pretty successful. But yeah, that's success is different for everybody. Like you said, we see, like, she, we can look on the outside and go, whoa, that's awesome. You get to do. And I think she also probably, I don't want to speak for her, but I'm sure if she probably thinks what she's doing is awesome too. But maybe she also goes, I'm not doing enough, right? Because I've been there where I go, maybe I'm not doing enough. Maybe I need to be doing more. Maybe I should do this, and this. But I also go, is that true to me? Is that going to make me feel, am I just doing it for the sake of doing it? Or do I really want to do it? And I think that's where my success, I go, you know what? I got to do some cool stuff there. That's cool. How can I build off that? I think I'm doing okay. I think I'm successful. The right people are telling me that they like what I'm doing. Like I said, at the end of the day, as long as my family approves of what I'm doing, because I would never make content that they would be, go that the page I'm not gonna say name, but the kind of content in the wrestling space that I'm talking about. That's not my bag. I'm not gonna make that kind. I'm gonna make things that make me laugh and think that I think are fun and have a good time. And is at the end of the day, and if Love Wrestling and the Main Event Network that I work for are happy with the amount of effort I'm putting into their stuff, and JPJ is good with Between Two Beards, and Blair's good with 4 Exposure, and they're happy with what I'm doing, I'll call it a success.
There you go.
All the other stuff, cherry on top, my man.
I get it.
Hey.
Now, final question for you. Throughout your journey, who would you say has helped you the most? And is there anybody, whether it's content creator wise or otherwise, that you want to give flowers to that have been an influence to you?
Oh, wow. Well, see, you're trying to get me in trouble.
I'm not trying to get you in trouble.
Somebody is going to go, what the hell, Pluggo? Remember that time I gave you $5?
Listen, this is an open forum for you to put people over.
I will.
That's the goal of the question.
First and foremost, the person I'm going to put over, and she hates when I do it, and she always doesn't understand why I bring her up, is Mrs. Pluggo.
Of course.
And I'm not just saying that because she's my wife and I'm afraid of sleeping on the couch. We actually have a very comfortable couch and the bigger TV's down there. So I'm okay with it. I'm okay with being in a doghouse. When you're me, you end up there sometimes. No, because she gets it. She may not understand wrestling, but she gets what I'm trying to do, and she understands. She'll tell me, like, do it. We'll figure it out. If you think that podcast request is worth your time, if you think, then go for it. And she's never shied away. She's put all this together. She's, bought me, for birthday presents when I'm like, because I very DIY this, right? Like it's very as good as I can make it without breaking the bank, because I don't have a lot of money. She'll get me the microphone, or she gave me, like, she makes things like this for my phones, with my name on it. Like, she's very supportive of this when she doesn't have to be. And she'll go, hey, I'll go get the kids from school that day so you can go do that goofy interview that you want to go do, or whatever it may be. So her for sure. In terms of creators, Warren Hayes, I love him. He very early on was very influential on kind of like I would throw an idea at him and he would always make time to be like, hey, maybe try this, or hey, if that's what you want to do. Very cool. Spencer and Zach at Love Wrestling, absolutely 100%. Like, those are the two guys immediately, like when he brought me in, just got it, like understood what I was trying to do, and like gives me the freedom to do that. JPJ 100%. Like I wouldn't be here without him. Between Two Beards, we've been doing it for 5 years. Just another guy that, like, I throw an idea at him and he's always kind of willing to run. Like, those kind of people that just understand what I'm trying to do and what I bring to the table. Blair has been fantastic. Basically, we've been doing it for 2 years, independent wrestling, and he's the glue that keeps that show running, and he lets me, again, be me. The people that let me be me in these spaces, like, because I've tried the other thing, I've tried the sports things, and I've been with certain editors that are like, it has to be this way, and I'm like, but that's not me. I don't want to do that. All these people let me be me. Like, everyone at Love Wrestling has been just absolutely, it's awesome to bounce ideas off of. It's awesome to see where we've grown and gone in that space. Outside of the people that I work with, if you're asking me, like, who I look up to, obviously I think Wheezy's one, just because we live in the same city. Yeah. Like, it's rare to find anybody in our area that does this, and just watching how she navigates things and how she works and being able to be in those rooms and watch her do her thing, it's been great. Like, very cool. Like, I shouted out the guys from the Expo, the Indiana people, like, that I look up to, like the Main Event Wrestling Network guys. Kyle's been awesome. Wells and DC and all the Con from In Your House, all the Indiana people. It's awesome to watch them all, and it's cool to see how they prop us up. They prop each other up while still getting their stuff done. They still make sure that you're getting taken care of, which is crazy to me, because you don't see that, right? It's a very cutthroat. It can be very cutthroat at times. So, SRS has been wonderful to me. Anytime I've had a chance to talk to him or interact with him, he's been very gracious at this time. It's like, it's cool to watch those people navigate a room and go, that's awesome. Like, it's just them in their pocket, them in their element. And I love to just sit and kind of watch other creators, how they create. Like, I will never try to be them, because that's just, I think people see through that, but you still can respect when you go, that's dope. That was cool. I loved what they did there and how they interacted there. There's so many people. I'm not a self-made person. I'll never claim that I'm self-made, because it takes a village. It takes people taking a chance on you. It takes people understanding you. It takes the people that follow me, and it takes everybody, my wife, and giving me the time to do this and navigate it and figure it out and going, hey, go do the silly wrestling convention run. I'll take care of the kids this weekend, no problem. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
I'm sure I'm forgetting a whole bunch of people. The local wrestling scene around here that always welcomes me with open arms. Like, there's so many people, Greg. Like, again, I'm going to get flack for not mentioning them because I probably forgot.
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay.
But everybody that's ever worked with me and interacted with me and given me the time of day and given me advice and followed me, those are the people that I care about the most. And they say, you're one of them, dude. You've given me a platform. You've worked with me in the past. You're always very interactive with me. And I love that about you, especially during football season.
Mm.
Like, I've never lost on that because I know I'm not the top dog in the space and I'm just fine. And you know what I mean? But I've struggled with that, but I also know that I've got a lot of great stuff. I got a lot of great people. I've got a lot of awesome things that I get to do, and I don't want to lose sight of that because I'm trying to chase something that may or may not happen. So it's crazy, man.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Pluggo. Where can people find you on social media?
Everywhere. No. Yeah. So if you're looking for Pluggo, I'm at Pluggo on all social media platforms. You search Pluggo, this face pops up. Every Thursday night at 8 p.m. I'm with JPJ that I've talked enough about today. His head's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger when he sees this. At B2 Beards on all social medias for Between Two Beards every Thursday night at Love Wrestling, at Love Wrestling CA on all socials there. Every weekend I am with Blair Pacheco at For Exposure Pod on all social medias for Exposure, where we talk about the world of independent wrestling. That time does fluctuate, so you'll want to go to our socials to figure it out. It just depends on how our schedules kind of drop. And then I make content over on the Main Event Wrestling Net as well with Kyle and all those guys, so you can find my work over there. Whenever I get the urge to write, all of my writings are up on lovewrestling.ca as well. And then, you kind of never know where I'm going to be because I don't have a plan, Greg. I just kind of do things. But those are the main places that I will for sure be no matter what. But you never know when this face will just pop up somewhere.
There you go.
It's crazy, man.
It very much is. Thank you so much for joining us, Pluggo. Go check out all of Pluggo's social media.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It was a pleasure having you. Go check out all of Pluggo's social media. And thank you all for watching this episode of Greg Talks to People. You can find me on all forms of social media at Greg Cherry Brand. And until next time, be kind to each other.